Good morning. And I'm Lloyd Dillon, lay service leader today, and my pronouns are he, him. Challenged by our liberating faith, we discover deeper spiritual meaning here. We nurture loving community, cultivate courageous connections, and partner in the work of justice. Welcome to all of you on the live stream and in person, those who set their clocks. We're pleased to have guests with us in this room and participating virtually. Following the service, you are all invited, those who are present, to join us in Freeman Hall across from this sanctuary for coffee and conversation. If you are new and want to learn more about this congregation, I encourage you to reach out to our Director of Member Relations, Kelly Green. Her email is on the screen. We have large print orders of service, personal hearing assistance devices, and an elevator, thank goodness, outside. There is also a hearing loop in our alternate worship space, the Bernstein Room. If you or your family need to move around or be more active, you may be more comfortable watching and listening to this service in that alternate space, the Bernstein Room. We also have coloring pages and fidgets for all ages in the vestibule, if that is useful to you or your children. Nursery care is also available for children under 16. Now, we have a few announcements. Today, at 11:45, we'll have our Faithful Generosity Workshop. We'll be looking at our relationship to money from all angles, including childhood ideas about money and the connection of giving to your spiritual journey. They are connected. Lunch is provided for those who registered previously, and there may be extra, but you are welcome to attend either way. The sign-ups for cottage meetings continue. These meetings give us a chance to strengthen connections with other members and reflect on our connections with our UU community, all while enjoying delicious snacks. Put some pressure on the people holding the cottage meetings there. Members of the stewardship team will be in the coffee hour to help you register. We have a number of engaging activities to celebrate in our community in the coming month, such as our Spring Fling, potluck, and dance on March 21st, and our All Ages Talent Showcase on April 3rd. Now, Reverend Amanda has an announcement about organizing training.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to make a quick announcement about something really exciting that's happening in Mecklenburg County. This is a formation of a coalition of community and civic leaders, including leaders from the labor unions, other clergy leaders from interfaith, wide a range of diversity of different worship houses of faith and places of worship, and people from within the nonprofit sector who are coming together to explore what it means to build broad-based power right here in our county. There's a training that's taking place in April, I believe on April 18th, here in Charlotte. It's a Saturday day training, and it's around organizing. It's essentially training people what organizing is, and to get people into this grassroots opportunity that me and Kelly Green from our congregation have also been exploring. So if you're interested in joining in this training and exploring ways for our congregation to be involved in this broad-based power building movement, please reach out to me or Kelly Green to get more information and to get signed up.
Thank you. Again, a warm welcome to each and every one of you, whether you're here in person or watching via live stream or an archived service. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are people of many beliefs, origins, identities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. And I mean this with all my heart. It is good to be together.
Good morning and welcome. Welcome to this time of connection and belonging, this time where we gather to celebrate the fullness of who we are. Welcome to this place that extends beyond the boundaries of these walls, this time where we reach toward the impossible, root in the mystery, and find ourselves time and again connected to the love which holds us all. I'm Reverend Amanda, and what a joy it is to gather together once more. The theme for this month of exploration is DIY, but, however, this morning we get to do a bit of time traveling. Not only did we leap 1 hour into the future today, we're also reaching back to do the service we didn't get to do in January when we had that snow day. So this morning, we welcome a special lay leader with us, Lloyd Dillon, a beloved member and longtime member of this congregation. Let us welcome Lloyd. So we light our chalice this morning. As a symbol of our shared faith, we light our chalice for the flame that lights the path forward and for the light that shines the way. Come, let us worship together. And in that spirit, I invite you to rise in body and spirit to turn and greet one another. We're trying out a new hymn this morning, and the choir is going to lead us through 2 verses of it to teach it to us, and then we'll sing it together.
Good morning. I'm Ellen Holliday, and my pronouns are she, her. So I grew up in Charlotte and went to church at Selwyn Avenue Presbyterian, about 3 miles from here. And I mean, I went to church. It was every Sunday. Bible school, youth group, church dinners. And to top it off, my mother worked there. She was the kindergarten director. And so there was no escaping. But when I left home, I was done with that and done with how I'd grown up. And searched for a while. It really just didn't go anywhere for a long time. And you know how when you get older, sometimes you understand your parents better? Yeah. So I had always thought my mother was really religious. But what I now know is she had a community of people that supported her and cared about her. And I was looking for that. And through Open Door, I found this place. And so what are some of the things that I received from being part of this community? Well, one is being part of the choir. So singing and connecting with you, connecting with you, there is such joy in that. And then I'm part of the Memorial Endowment Trust Board, and we give grants every year for the facility, for new programs, and that gives me deep satisfaction. And then there's the Open Mind Book Club, where I come in with one perspective on a book, and then I listen to everybody else, and I have a different perspective. So I've really learned something. And also small group ministry, where I'm part of the Chalice Connection group, and I get to know people on a really personal basis. And that is connection. So when I think about joy, learning, satisfaction, connection, that is a lot that I'm getting for being part of this community. But there's another side of that coin, which is, what am I giving? And time is certainly important, but it is Stewardship Month. And so I think about my financial commitment, about pledging. And so I was at the grocery store the other day. I imagine you might have had this experience. So I walked out with a small bag of groceries that I felt like I paid way too much for. So rising costs. And then I started thinking, you know, the UUCC has rising costs too. And my pledge needs to take that into consideration. So, fellow UUers, it's time to pledge. So let's make this community financially stable so that we can do things into the future.
Hello again. I want to talk with you today about three subjects. One, do it yourself, which is kind of sort of what brought me here, me and my family, half a century ago. Two, getting involved when you get here, which is what kept us here all these years. And three, interior design, which has been a major part of my career and which has parallels, by the way, in spiritual growth and development. I'll try to keep this under 2 hours. John, you may play me off with music if I run too long. Firstly, do it yourself. I used to think that I didn't need organized religion at all. My late Brenda and our 3 sons did it ourselves. We would have family discussions about the world's religions, and I would always remember to point out how the golden rule ran through every one of them. We even had the local Boy Scout folks approve our little family religious services so our sons could participate in scouting. Now that really made me smug. I was just sure then that we didn't need organized religion at all. I was wrong, big time. A family living down the street from us heavily recruited our then 9-year-old son Daniel and wanted him to go with them to their church twice on Sunday and once every Wednesday night. They told him it was probably too late for his parents, but there was, because they had heard us discuss things before, but there was still time for him. All of a sudden, I realized that our Daniel, and probably our other 2 sons as well, needed to hear from somebody other than their parents that there are many ways to be a good person on this planet, many ways. So we came here. I was already familiar with Dr. Sidney Freeman because of his civil rights work. He was a major league civil rights activist, and I was a minor league civil rights activist, and we became very good friends. Well, now, are you familiar with Sidney Freeman? Anybody else remember him? He actually had meetings with Martin Luther King Jr., with John Kennedy. He sat in downtown at lunch counters with Johnson C. Smith students. I mean, this was someone to revere, and I did. And it showed, as I said, we became good friends. Now, what kept us here, other than Sidney Freeman's brilliance and great heart, was involvement. I gave many sermons here, was on many committees, was on 2 boards, once as the chair. Back then they called it the president of the congregation, which I'm glad got changed. And I did many drawings, posters, drawings for covers of the order of service, and also for 20 years, along with Tom Nunnenkamp, who is here today, was a UU spokesperson, talking to visitors after the service and talking to area congregations who wanted to know more about this strange group. Eventually, talking about involvement, eventually, Sid Freeman called a full congregational meeting, and the members voted to make me an authorized UU lay minister so I could legally perform weddings and do other things. And I did dozens of weddings, and I always caught a good case of happiness every time. And I gave sermons, a lot of sermons, not only here, but in UU pulpits in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So yes, you can get as involved as you want to be and can stand here. You really can. My Brenda taught RE here, religious education, and she and I were chaperones on a week-long field trip in a blizzard for the RE students. Our sons were active here as well. Now, for the interior design part. Many of you have heard the terms, I'm hoping. How many of you have heard the term interior decorator? Anybody? How many of you have heard the term interior decoration? Okay. How about interior design? Interior designer. I'll stop there. They are not the same. They are not synonyms. They aren't even close. To decorate is merely to adorn. If I hung a calendar or a poster of dogs playing poker on this wall, I would have decorated this room because I adorned, so to speak, the wall. In religion, if someone hangs a particular pendant over your neck or gives you a particular headdress or a particular garment to wear, they have decorated you. There's a difference. To design is to analyze, think through, study, decide what fits and feels right to you, make a plan, and then implement that plan. Now, on the first part, if anybody is decorated into a faith and it fits them, wonderful. I know excellent people in virtually every faith on the planet. There are good people everywhere, not just here. But if you're not a one-size-fits-all person, if you have always had questions, if you really want to know what fits you, some interior design. And by interior design, I mean a couple of metaphorical places. Now, I mentioned career because I did want to talk a little bit about interior design. I was twice president of the Carolinas chapter of the Interior Design Society, and even became the national president of the Interior Design Society. And I loved helping people achieve the look they wanted, helping people achieve a place that felt right to them. Professional guidance is a help. And I tried to offer that to all of my clients, as Reverend Amanda and the entire staff here do as well. Now, interior design specifically in this room, because of my career in doing interior design and teaching interior design at 3 different colleges and writing about interior design, I was invited to be on the committee that helped talk to the architects and plan this sanctuary. Now, some things to point out. The carpet is green, not the red of martyrs like many churches. It's green, which connects to nature and to peace and calmness. The wall color is a soft blue-green, which again connects to peace and calmness and reverie. See these niches on each side? That's not just a random shape. If you look, they are stylized versions of the shape of the Mosaic tablets, the tablets of Moses, to remind us of our Judeo-Christian roots. The big pulpit that used to be up here had that same shape, the same Mosaic tablets on the side. We no longer use that one because it weighed more than a Honda CR-V. And when people moved it, they got hurt. So it's gone, but the niches are still here. And the reminder of some of our roots is still here. Now, when I said there's a spiritual, and I gave it away a little while ago, a spiritual connection to interior design as well, of your mind, your heart, your very soul. And it can happen if you try to analyze, study, learn, realize what feels right to you. You can do that other places, of course, but do it when you finally feel welcomed and accepted, when the surroundings feel right, when you find a community of like-minded or at least similar-minded people wanting to make themselves and this world better, when you find a professional staff who listen, not just tell, when you find that one size fits all is a lie if it doesn't fit you, then you will have truly engaged in the interior design of your heart, mind, and soul. You will have found your spiritual home. May it be so. Please remain seated for our next song.
At this very moment, somewhere in intergalactic space, the two Voyager spacecraft are gliding along somewhere between the stars, somewhere in the galactic plasma. And on these two spacecraft launched nearly 50 years ago, there lived two identical golden phonograph records. Included on this record are 116 images. There's also sounds and data from our planet, charts and diagrams of human and animal anatomy, biological information, music from around the world in different eras, greetings spoken in ancient and modern tongue, acoustic sounds like laughter and footsteps, natural sounds like whales and swimming and waves crashing upon the shore. Then there's the voice of a child, and there's also one printed message from the former US President Jimmy Carter, which reads, "This is a present from a small, distant world, a token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so that we may live into yours." The Golden Record, as it is called, was a project initiated by NASA in 1977 and headed up by the astronomer Carl Sagan. He and his team curated this record over the course of a year with only the hope that it might reach extraterrestrial life some 40,000 years into the future. And maybe it seems disjointed to mingle faith like that with science, perhaps even a little folly to spend time and labor to send a glorified time capsule into outer space. But this is so wonderfully and so arrogantly human. I can't help but love it as a humanist myself. Launching ourselves into the void, beyond the stars and into the future with just the hope that someday somebody might know that we were here, that on this pale blue dot, everything we've ever known, every battle we've ever fought, every hardship we've had to face, every moment of joy or birth or death, every conflict, every moment of laughter has existed on this comic speck of a planet, and we just wanted to say hi. That is so precious. But it also invites us into a deeper and perhaps more difficult practice, that of remembering the future. Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto asks, can we remember the skill of remembering the future? Can we commit to build the community that will extend into a time that we only know by memory because it will outlast us? Memorize the compass points of the day yet to come, the truth, the love, the fire, the endless yes of the horizon. Shake the scales of your imagination. Reach, stretch, rise. But there's nothing easy about the practice of remembering the future, especially in our present crushing reality. What happens to a dream deferred? Asked Langston Hughes. Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? One of the most fascinating things that we beings can do is dream, like literally dream. That there are worlds upon worlds only accessed from within, and that when we are dreaming, those worlds are very real. That we have this ability to create worlds that defy logic and rules, worlds where we can be visited by the departed, where we can fly if we want to, worlds where we know things that we don't know in waking life, where we see things that we can't see when our eyes are open. And it doesn't even have to make sense. One time I had a dream that I performed the entirety of the zombie dance from Thriller, beginning to end. I did it flawlessly, and I did it to the music, and I did it without missing a beat. Now, this is not something that I can do in waking life, but in some other world, in the recesses of my mind, I got all of those moves. In this wildly logical and rational world that we can explain through science and reason, we still have a built-in mechanism to defy it all and rewrite the script. So there are dreams that we literally dream, and then there are dreams that we carry into waking life. Those dreams of love and connection and belonging, those dreams of justice and equity and a world that works for all, not just for some, dreams born in a complicated world that live on the rocky landscape of not yet. And while it is important to dream, it's painful when there's nowhere for those dreams to land. When those dreams, for whatever reason, didn't make it into real life. What about those dreams? Do they dry up, as Hughes asks? Do they fester? Do they rot? Are they too heavy? Or do they just explode? There's an angst in this world right now, and I think we all feel it. There's an angst swelling beneath the words on our screens, lingering in our headlines, reaching out to us from the depths of a humanity that just can't catch a break. And it screams out that this was not the future we were promised. This isn't the world we were told was being built for us. This isn't the world that we were helping to build. And this isn't the future we thought we would have. And yet, here we are. And what about our dreams? What about the hope that we had for our children, for our nation, for our people? What about us? Can we still remember the future? Do we even know where our dreams were ever supposed to land? And yet, on that spacecraft sailing along the stars, holding that golden record, embedded in all the data and the information about our planet, is one simple line of Morse code that reads, per aspera ad astra, the Latin phrase, through hardships to the stars. So yes, there are dreams that we literally dream. There are deferred dreams that we carry into waking life. And there are dreams that shift our entire reality. These are the dreams that pull at the fabric of reality, that reveal new possibilities and new ways of being. Dreams that are born from pain and despair, but refused to be deferred. Dreams that shake us awake, that bring us back to life. Perhaps one of the most notable dreams of our time was shared with a crowd in the hundreds of thousands in 1963. I have a dream. The world heard this for the first time on that grand lawn. And when we hear those words now, we automatically know the context, the place, the person. We know the dream. I have a dream, MLK proclaimed on August 28th of that year. A dream of longing, a dream of liberation, a dream of actualized lived justice, a dream, he said, that one day this nation will rise up and live out the meaning of its creed. A dream, he said, that justice will roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. A dream that regardless of creed or color, that one day we would all get together and sing in one mighty voice that we are free at last. And his dream changed the world. And it wasn't his dream alone. MLK was but one of hundreds, even thousands of civil rights leaders and organizers and activists of that time. His dream represented those of countless peoples whose names did not make the history books. His was but one dream in the sea of the radical imagination that he cast into the future and that is holding us to this day. And he did not live to see it. He etched his dream on that golden record, and he cast it into the vastness of time and space, not knowing who would receive it, not knowing how his words would be lived out into this world. And here we are now, living in a world built by that dream. So there are dreams that we literally dream. There are dreams that we carry into waking life that are deferred. There are dreams that shift our reality. And finally, there are dreams that are in our hands. Have you ever had a lucid dream? The kind where you know you're dreaming. The kind that is lucid but happens differently for everyone. There's something really interesting that happens within a lucid dream. There's always this point in which you realize where you are, that you're dreaming, and that you can do anything you want. The couple of times I've had a lucid dream, I've decided to fly. What if a dream deferred is simply a lucid dream? A dream that we wake up in the midst of and get to decide what comes next. What if we see it for what it is, a dream that's still in progress, a dream that isn't yet finished? And so what if we made our own rules in these lucid dreams? What if we made a playground of the sacred imagination? What if we explored new systems, new ways of creating family and relationships and real systems that worked for real people? What if we started from the place of abundance and breathed life into our natural world? What if we had access to the impossible through our unfinished, unrealized dreams? What if we decided to fly? What if, like Langston Hughes asks, our dreams do actually explode, but perhaps they explode into the cosmos? Maybe they explode into fractals to reflect abundance. Maybe they explode into bold creativity. Maybe they must explode because the box of our reality can't yet hold them. So if we truly can't remember the future, perhaps we can at least remember our dreams. And as all of the experts say, if you have a hard time recalling your dreams in waking life, write them down. Keep track of those dreams. Put those dreams into art. Sing songs of those dreams. Let them fuel our relationships, the love that we share with each other. Keep our dreams in sight and our hands on the freedom plow. Because it is not the dream alone that changes the world. It's the very act of dreaming that brings the future to life. In about 40,000 years, the Voyager 1 spacecraft is estimated to finally pass the orbit of a major star in a whole other constellation. It's currently unknown if there's life there, but according to Carl Sagan, the spacecraft will be encountered and the record played only if there are advanced civilizations. But the launching of this bottle into the cosmic ocean says something so much more hopeful about life on this planet right here and now. 40,000 years from now, these spacecraft will be dancing among the stars, carrying proof of our life, our music, our languages, our struggles, our anatomy, our longing to shout into the void that we were here and we did dream, and it meant something. It meant everything to us. And it's all that we could do with our big lives on this little planet. It's all we could do to love each other without giving up on each other, to create music from sounds we found in nature before we even had official languages. It was all we could do to move our bodies and dance even as we wept. It was all we could do to dream of a world outside of our own, and we did our best to build it, and we hope you did too. So on this pale blue dot that we call home, And in this limited time we have on it, may we remember that we are the architects of our dreams and the weavers of our hope, and that we are each our own kind of golden record that carries that hope forward for one another. May we use our dreams as compasses while we travel this journey of building a new world. Not a world promised to us by someone else, but one of our own design. A world that we can promise to one another through hardships to the stars. May it be so. Blessed be.
That was truly beautiful. Generosity is at the center of our vision and mission. And it is through generosity that we live our values out loud. What we give allows us to sustain the work of this congregation within and beyond these walls. When we gather each week, let it be with the spirit of generosity and gratitude, recognizing the blessing that it is to carry the work forward together. Our Share the Plate recipient this month is the Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry of North Carolina, and the Reverend Amanda will tell us more.
This morning I speak on behalf of the Justice UU Ministry of North Carolina as a temporary spokesperson. Every month we do share our plate with a community organization whose values and mission align with ours. The mission of the UU Justice Ministry of North Carolina is to joyfully organize the UUs to co-create a transformative movement for justice through spiritual grounding, collaboration, and imagination. They do so by working in close relationship with UU congregations like ours, our national UU partners, and our statewide justice partners. In 2024, the UU Justice NC worked with our congregation and 20 other UU congregations in North Carolina for the UU The Vote campaign. If you worked within the UU The Vote campaign and you're here right now, could you let us know who you are? Some back here, yes, beautiful. This is a coalition that we gather during every election cycle to make sure that we are getting involved. We did this with over 1,100 UUs this past year, and that's nearly 1 in 5 UUs in the state. Together, we reached over 100,000 voters in North Carolina, and we did so in deep partnerships with our friends within the movement. Last year, UU Justice NC's 6-part congregational and community safety series engaged over 400 UUs from 20 North Carolina congregations and over 1,000 hours of training from state safety experts and national UUA staff. These workshops helped UUs upgrade their congregation's safety and security and grow their skills to contribute to community safety in our local areas. In 2026, as a part of Blueprint NC's Faith Table, UU Justice NC is a part of the interfaith team developing a multi-year strategy to combat the rise of Christian nationalism in North Carolina. And of course, they continue to lead their flagship weekly Zoom meetings and Friday action hours, which just celebrated its 300th straight week of gathering. What we give today to UU Justice NC goes to continuing the organization's activities in our UU faith and values, and to powerfully contribute to our statewide movement working to defeat authoritarianism and to create a state where all may experience dignity, safety, and abundance. As you give to UU Justice NC, know that we are actively building a world that works for so many of our neighbors near and far.
The money we give here funds things that you may not even be aware of. Those of you sitting on the pews, the planning committee, the interior design planning committee years ago, wanted those to be the hard oak pews only. I was the committee member who held out for cushions. You're welcome. There are many ways to give in our shared offering. You can text to give at 73256, or you can give directly online. You can also scan the QR code or give as the basket arrives coming your way. With gratitude for all the ways that we give, for those who pledge to make this ongoing work possible, for those who give in the moments when it counts the most, and for those who give from their hearts. We build this community together. While the offering is being collected, you are invited to come forward and light a candle honoring a milestone, a concern, or celebration. If you've already submitted your pledge for our All In campaign, you're invited to partake in our ritual of placing a hand in the All In bowl located on the table to the side of the stage. Ushers, you may now come forward to receive the offering.
As always, each time that we gather, we come carrying a whole host of joys and concerns in our hearts. And here we don't ask that those be cast aside or forgotten, but that we learn how to make space for all that we are and all that we're carrying and all that is our lives. This morning, we continue to lift up Claire Yount as her family and she prepare for and recover from an upcoming surgery. We'll continue to check in with them and offer our thoughts and our deepest prayers. We also lift up our trans and non-binary family throughout this country as we and they face more sweeps of anti-trans legislation and behavior. May we continue to build a world that centers equity, compassion, love, and justice, and where we don't tolerate this nonsense. And this morning, as we move into March and into Women's History Month, there's two women I want to lift up, Vera Rubin and Octavia Butler. These are two women that helped us reach the stars. Vera Rubin's research was what led to many discoveries within dark matter. In so many ways, she helped us get to other planets, other cosmos, to understand what is going on in the world beside ours. And it's through so much of her work and her research that we understand things that we did not know 50 years ago. And of course, Octavia Butler, an author and science fiction writer, who wrote of a world in the not-so-distant future that has completely collapsed and crumbled, but that still allowed us to reach for something deeper and reach for something more. These two are weavers of hope, dreamers, people who didn't stop, people who dared to believe in a world that had not yet been created. So, on this day during Women's History, we celebrate and honor their discoveries, their work and their labor, and the ways they moved us toward a world that we are still building. Won't you join me in a moment of silence while I light our candle of the world joys and concerns as we hold in our hearts what we have brought with us this morning and as we carry it forward into the days to come. I now invite you to join me in a moment of stillness, of rootedness, of contemplation, and of prayer. Perhaps closing your eyes or lowering your gaze, rooting right where you are. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit that weaves its way through our hearts, Spirit that gathers us together amidst a world of broken dreams, a world of beauty and of pain, a world where our dreams are perhaps still in progress, but not quite there. We call that Spirit into presence on this day. The Spirit that reminds us that we are stardust, and to stardust we will return. The Spirit that puts things into perspective to remind us what the point really is. That we are sacred travelers on this journey, and that this is a gift we've been given. May we hold on not to some saccharine hope or a nice catchphrase that sounds good and optimistic, but the deep knowing that we are the weavers and the architects of the world. That our dreams do live in the present through the work of creating a world that can hold them. that each time we connect with one another, each time we repair wounds, each time we create something new, each time we gather together, each time we take a chance, that our dreams are coming to life. Perhaps in ways we didn't know, perhaps in ways we can't yet imagine. But our work is to build a world for them, to build a home for them, and to build more love between one another. As we move into our days and our weeks, as we move into the months of this year, may we hold to that. May we always return to ourselves. May we keep building and weaving. May we keep journeying forward. May we keep reaching to the stars and reaching beyond and right back to ourselves. May it always be so. Ashe, and blessed be. It's important in a life of a community to honor its elders. And today I want to honor Lloyd Dillon for all of your service to this congregation over many decades, the way you built this home for us through your work and through your labor. Thank you so much. It is an honor to be your minister. Oh, the service is almost over, Lloyd, if you... As always, our benediction comes in the form of gratitudes. Gratitudes for the beautiful music, for our tech folks, those greeting and ushering, those making the coffee. So much of our time together is a result of a labor of love. Also, so much gratitude for our stewardship team. Wait a minute. Where's Super Steward? I'm surprised he didn't come today.
I'm here, but I'm not Super Steward today. I'm just Terry. And I am super stressed.
Stressed? Why?
Man, I've been pouring through these congregational budgets and documents, and I'm trying to calculate exactly how much of the services I use and how happy I am with them. What am I getting out of it?
What do you mean, what are you getting out of it?
Well, like, how much does each thing here cost? And do I use it? Do I like it? Am I getting what I want out of it? That'll help me figure out just how all in I really am.
And that does sound really stressful to do. How are those calculations shaping up?
Well, looks like I'm about 70% satisfied. I'm 20% annoyed and 10% just indifferent. And I can't remember how much we're trying to raise in this campaign anyway. Can somebody tell me what the numbers are?
Oh, hey, hi. Hi
Hey,
again. Yeah. I think I can help with that as part of the pledge campaign leadership.
Excellent.
Yeah. Of our $819,000 goal, so far we've raised 34%. But remember, this goal represents a 14% increase over last year's total pledge income.
Wait, 14%? I can't handle another percentage in my calculations. My calculator just broke.
Honestly, Terry, I think that's for the best. I mean, what are you really trying to figure out with all of those numbers?
Well, what I'm getting out of this? What's in it for me?
Well, you're not going to find those answers there.
Maybe a different question to ask yourself is, why are you here? Why is this community important to you? Or what does our community need to keep thriving into the future?
A question I had to ask myself is, what does it even mean to be a place that's thriving? And how do I fit into that?
And these are questions that we all have to ask ourselves, probably more than once, usually over and over again.
Discernment, critically reflecting is important, and everybody should be doing that, especially when giving. But generosity can't be tracked on a spreadsheet or measured in percentages. It comes from the heart.
So you mean I don't need to pour through these P&L sheets anymore?
You can if you want to, but that's up to you.
And I don't have to go through the budgets with a fine-tooth comb.
I mean, the congregation will eventually have to approve the budget, but that's not right now in this moment.
Thank God. All right, Reverend Amanda. Let's go ahead with the service then. Please rise in body and, oh, I'm sorry, that's your job.
It's okay, Terry. We can share in the load and do it together. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn.
Our service has now ended. Please join me in reading the words on our screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.